Hello everybody, I'm back with another Sims 4 era house build. This time it is Queen Anne. I've actually talked about this build a lot in my past videos. Kind of excited to do it because there is a Queen Anne style furniture choice and I guess kind of decoration choice. So I did make sure to use that for when I furnished the place as much as I could besides using some base game items. So the Queen Anne style, and some people call this Victorian, is pretty much a product of the American industrial age. It pretty much came out after the Civil War era and was built 1880 to 1910. So getting into the build, it took me a while to get this done right, and it's mostly because of this shape in the common builds. Most of the Queen Anne's have these towers, and trying to implement that with The Sims 4 was definitely work. Mostly because you had to fit the roof on perfectly, and it was a struggle. And you'll see me actually struggle with this because I'm like, okay, I got it finally. I think I rebuilt this build like 6 or 7 times. Like I started over and I was like, pause the video or start the video over just so that I could get it working properly. But in the end, I got the shape. I was actually going off of a uh, floor plan, like an actual floor plan, instead of just going off the picture that you saw at the beginning. That picture actually came with a floor plan, which made this much easier because a lot of the Queen Anne floor plans that I found were very complicated and very hard to implement within The Sims. So this time I actually just implemented it with a simpler build compared to some of the Queen Anne styles that are much more complicated, larger, and had more rounded walls for those tower-like sections. So, let me see. I'm just seeing more facts about the Queen Anne style, but it again was I don't know. Most of it was after the Civil War and also called Victorian. So once I got the pretty much the layout of this build in, it was pretty easy to kind of get the flow in. I did have to redo the roofing a few times because it was a little complicated. Realizing that, oh yeah, I have this whole deck that I need to also put the roof on made it a little bit more work. But once I got it in, it worked well, and I'm actually really excited with how this build turned out. I think if I were to go back and fix it, I would actually decorate the outside with maybe more blue because I feel like the outside looks very pale. One thing also about the roof is instead of it being like, I think I chose for the second roof, when I pulled it up, I chose something that was more round versus something that had like distinct shapes to it, like the first floor roof. And you'll see that at the end of the build. But yeah, I mean, I'm happy with how this worked out. I noticed this patio was a little bit extended in that side, so I end up making it a little different, but it worked out in the end. So I don't know. This build, along with Gothic Revival and the Italianate, I think are my favorite how they turned out. And then I really liked how the last video, which was the Second Empire, the interior of that, I loved how the Second Empire turned out. This all around, I like the interior and exterior of it. The floor plan was really easy to follow with the thing. That was another issue I had. You saw how that clipped at the top. I wanted the roof to be a little bit more steep for the patio or the patio or porch. But I couldn't have that because it would clip through and you could see it on the inside, and that's just not it. So this is where I kind of noticed, oh no, like this wall's a little extended. I'm going to have to do some fixing here. And I thought, I was like, great, I'm going to have to start this video over for like a 5th time. But I kind of ignored it for a bit and thought, let's see what I can do with it. Staircase was pretty simple to put in. I know in earlier builds it was a little bit harder to figure out where I wanted to put the staircase in. This, it was not hard whatsoever, so it worked out pretty beautifully. I liked how this hallway had like some weird shapes to it. I thought it worked out really well. It looks kind of cool. It also doesn't make the hallway super wide or weird shaped. It was very simple and easy to go ahead and decorate when I did get into the furnishing. I did have issues like, okay, how did I actually want this hallway to look in comparison to the other build? This is pretty much the shape that I chose. And so then I go into roofing. Now, usually I roof before I actually lay out the floor plan, but since I had a floor plan to go off of, then I didn't really need to do that. See, here's where I saw that clipping. Like, that drove me insane. Like, that frustrated the heck out of me. I don't know why it does that. I don't know how to get rid of it. I don't know if there might be a mod that makes it better. But unfortunately, again, as I've said before, if I download a mod, use a mod, I'm going to have to let people who download this house, hey, there's mod content. I also don't know if you can use or upload mod content to the gallery. I don't know if it'll cause errors for other players. I'd have to figure that out. I say that every time, and then I don't Google it after the video. But once I got the pretty much layout of this roof done, then it was no problem. It was when I start to roof the second floor that I realized that I had a messed up shape. Yeah, I was trying to see if I could get that a little bit higher. So, yeah, so I think what I did here is I chose the wrong wall. No, I chose the right roof. Oh, I ended up choosing the wrong roof in the end because I chose the round one, and I'm actually kind of upset that I did that. I think I'll probably go back and fix that so that it is the shape of this first floor roof. I think I chose the round one for when I finally fix this layout. So when I was looking at it, I realized that that whole room was the same shape as the first floor. And at first I was going to make it like smaller. And then I realized, okay, that's way too tiny for, it's supposed to be a game room, but I ended up making a bedroom when I furnished it. So like, I was like, okay, what am I going to do here? Like, I'm messing around with it, trying to figure out what I wanted to do. And then eventually I'm like, you know what? Like, let's just make this the same shape because we do have that patio porch. So it will still have the extension. And yeah, there you go. There's me, actually putting it back in. And then I had to figure out, okay, like, wait, that's still odd shaped. I don't know. This took me a second, and then once I got it working, it looks beautiful, in my opinion. So, yeah. Extended that out because when I realized that, oh, it's just the same width as everything below it, then it made it 10 times easier. So this upstairs is, I didn't do it the shape, that little bathroom, it was supposed to be a weird shape, but I ended up making it just a square bathroom. So the upstairs has 2 baths, 3 bedrooms. So it's yeah, 3 bedroom, 2 bath house. So yeah. Wait, did I say 3 bedroom, 3 bath? Or yeah, 3 bedroom, 3 bath. Well, 2.5 bath. And that master bedroom is this beautiful, like, shaped one. See, here I'm putting, so I did use the one that I wanted. I don't know why it looks so round then. Huh. I don't know. You'll see in the final picture that I think it looks really round, but when I finished doing this roofing, I pretty much went into painting and stuff like that. So I do like how I think I ended up changing that other roof tile. No, I kept it the same. Interesting. Okay. I thought I changed it to a different shape. But anyway, so onto the patio. I wanted to put the same paneling, but I noticed that the picture kind of looked like it had brick on this side of the wall. So I was like, all right, we're going to do that. So I ended up putting that brick on the inside as well. So that whole section is all brick, and then the rest is paneling. So I don't know if that's what the picture intended, but it did look like it had that. And I then chose this lighter paneling, but if I were to go in, I probably would change it back to the dark. Because when you look at the final picture of the house, and it's probably because I didn't change the color of the roof at all, either. So it looks really light. And I don't know. I think it would look better if there was more contrast on the exterior of the house. But I mean, it worked. So windows weren't too hard to choose once I figured out which one I was going to use, which I ended up using this one. I think I use these types of windows from, I think, the no, this is a base game window. I use this in the university window so often compared to so I didn't know. I noticed that the trim on the original was a little bit more decadent, but it didn't look right, so I ended up getting rid of all that trim. Because also you see the clipping right in front of the porch. But yeah, as I was saying, I usually use those windows that I chose from the base game, and then the university windows. And I think they work for a lot of the options. I don't personally like them because they look like they're stone, and putting them on paneling doesn't really make sense. But I mean, what do I say? I haven't said it yet, but what do I say almost every video? They don't have enough window options in The Sims 4. I don't like these small windows very much because on the interior they kind of looked awkward, but it was the best I could do with what I had. So, yeah. Putting in the fencing or the railing for the porch and then staircase. This was very easy to make choices for. I wasn't sitting there and going through every single option as much, which make these videos a little bit shorter. I also noticed on this side picture that whole section doesn't have any windows. And I actually looked at the floor plan because the floor plan did have windows. So I did stay true to the floor plan and keep the windows where they were on the floor plan. So I think it worked out really nicely. I don't really I like big windows. I want something that's going to bring a lot of light into my house. And these smaller windows are to me. But I, again, was following the floor plan as best as I could. And it worked out in the end. So I actually followed the decoration or the landscaping that they had in the actual picture. I followed that to a T, or I guess as best as I could, which I'd like to say was to a T. Like I had like this large tree next to the house in this section, and for some reason that tree was not letting me put it in, and I was like, all right, time to use the cheats. I think I didn't even use that tree. I used this one from Outdoor Retreat instead. I put the flowers pretty much wrapped around the patio front as it was in the picture that you see at the beginning of the video. And then I also put in this kind of thing that was in the picture. There was like a cement little, I would assume a parking area. I also put in the white picket fence that was in the picture. I don't know if the white picket fence actually wraparounds all the way like that, but I did that anyway. I guess it probably wouldn't. I don't know. I ended up painting the whole area green. I like the more green look than that. Like, it looks like almost like leaves falling. And there's that cement path that, or not path, but I guess tiles that I put in as like a parking area. And then putting these flowers individually, which takes a lot of time. Like you saw, well, if you watched the video, the Italianate landscaping that I did for the Italianate build, I put a lot of work into it. And if you haven't seen the video, go ahead and watch it. The landscaping, I put a lot of really cool work into it, and I implemented using like the stones. And something that I usually don't do is I put in the like terrain paint first, and then I built the like I did the rest of the landscaping, like putting the bushes and all that stuff, decorations and rocks included, into it after. So one thing I wanted to make sure is I don't like when these patches of flowers are so singular colors, so I kind of put them a lot on top of each other. And you can see that here with me like overlapping a lot, so it gives it more than just one color per patch. I don't know. I wish they had more multicolor patches like these. But, I mean, what do I say? You get what you get with The Sims 4 in any Sims game at that. So that's what takes most of it. Like, I could have just, like, made one monotone patch and just kind of dealt with it. And it would have been faster, but you know me. I'm not going to do that one. When I'm taking time to put in landscaping like this, I'm going to make sure it looks nice, I guess. At least nice by my standards. You can say this looks tacky or stupid, but when you zoom out, you can't really tell, I guess. Put in some random bushes to kind of finish that patch of flowers off. Put in some terrain paint. I know that the original picture also had a bunch of flowers near this tree, so I ended up doing that. It also had some flowers in this back corner, so I added those. I also added to this other corner over here, even though you don't really see that in the picture. And then I added, I don't know, I might have added one more tree. No, I don't think I did. Oh, yes, I did. I just felt like this area was a little empty, so I added a tree and some bushes and a rock around it. So, yeah. Just to give it some more of a, like, okay, this is some nice land. I guess I could go in and actually put in, like, maybe a kids stuff, play sets and stuff like that. I have, the way I end up doing the upstairs is there were kids' rooms. I liked that I raised that section. I also had the entryway raised as well because it looked like it was pointing as a step down. I don't know if the actual floor plan had a step down for where I'd raised the dining room and kitchen area, but I liked it because it kind of gave the house a little bit more depth. See, here's what I realized is the Queen Anne furniture is really nice, but the wallpaper definitely left some stuff to be desired. So I end up using some base game stuff, and I think it worked out. I end up putting that brick all in the entryway, in that closet there that I have to the side of the entryway. I also wanted to put like these archways, but the way the pillars kind of look, it doesn't look right, and I don't like it. And then if you notice here, you don't even see the spandrels. So I was like, you know what, that's just not going to work. We're going to put an arch here because it works that way. So you see me messing around with this a ton, and it just doesn't work. So I get rid of it, put it in an arch, and it worked better that way. Let's see, what else do? I do put an archway in this section because I, again, was going to try and do a pillar spandrels, and then it would raise that pillar. Like, you see how it's off, and just, that looks stupid. I could have just gotten rid of the step, but I didn't really like that either. So this is kind of what you get. And then I put 2 archways, I guess, for this section. And I felt like that closed it enough that it's like, okay, it's its own separate room, but it's open enough that it looks nice. I also wanted to see how doing the archway over here looked, and I felt like that just kind of looked stupid, so I got rid of it and left it open. I did put a pillar at the end of that thing because I felt like it looked weird without it. So that wall that closes off the staircase from the dining room. So originally I was going to make that a gaming room like it originally was, but I decided not to and just made it another bedroom, which ended up being the master bedroom because you do have a bathroom connected in there. Yeah, so I wanted to try and like open that up a little bit more, but as you can see, the roofing clips. So I couldn't do that. That's probably the worst thing. Like, roof clipping through, like, just frustrates me to no end. And it's because something to do with like how the rooms are like coated and stuff like that. So again, I put that brick throughout that whole side of the wall, that whole side of the house, including all the way through the dining room and staircase area. And I did it on the upstairs as well. Actually, now that I think about it, I think when I end up painting that boys' room, because one's like a blue room and the other one's like orangey and pink room, I think when I did that, it got rid of the brick in that bedroom, which kind of makes me sad, but oh well. I can always go back and fix it, or I don't know, leave it. So yeah, I have to individually paint tiles or I'll end up accidentally getting rid of the brick in that section, but yeah. And then I have a downstairs bathroom. I end up using actually the Queen Anne style stuff there. And then painting. I used muted tones and solid colors in this build, except for in the kids' bedrooms. And I think I used kind of a darker tone in the upstairs master bedroom. Because as I said, I like those darker toned in the bedrooms because I like my bedroom dark when I'm sleeping. See, like that roofing looks circular even though you can actually see the flat edges. So I did make it flat. So that concludes this build, and I want to thank you for watching. You can get the build on my profile in this gallery, Smashley Brewer, and make sure to watch the next video and like, comment, subscribe. Let me know how to make these videos better and what you'd like to see.